A hearty welcome to the 12 tribes scattered abroad and to those grafted in. This is the Israelite in America, and today we're going to talk about hypocrisy and hatred. Yep, 2HH. Hypocrisy and hatred. And if hypocrisy and hatred are something you want to hear about, then subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, comment, let me know your thoughts. This is going to be concerning the Ethiopian Jews, but also some other Jews, and I say that word, I say that word in a certain way, going to concern some other Jews, and we're going to talk about, again, all of this is going to be concerned in the present day right now. If you haven't seen my earlier video on the Ethiopian Jews and their situation in Israel, the Israeli government, how the Israeli government is treating them, I'll put a card right here. Go check it out. You might want to check it out before this one, although you don't have to. But I'm going to be referencing a few things. I'm going to be skimming over a few things and referencing them that I already went over in detail in the other video, so you might want to see that. All right. Before I even switch the screen, there are people who tell me that, oh, there's no difference between how the black Jews of darker skin tones, but specifically black, there's no difference in how they're treated than they're not treated any differently than the other Jews, right? The Jews, the white Jews, the Jews with lighter skin tones. There are people that still tell me this to this day. And it is so untrue. And one would think that if the Jews over in Israel, if they actually felt kinship and wanted all Jews to return and to be treated equally, they wouldn't be treating their fellow brethren the way they do. But I'm going to show you some differences here between Ukrainian Jews and Ethiopian Jews, specifically how they have been treated by the Israeli government. Okay? First, this is an article from the Jerusalem Post, jpost.com. I will post, excuse me, as always, I will post the links in the description. Okay? The title of this article is, Israel Must Stop Its Racism and Save Ethiopian Jews. Opinion. Okay? This article is from last month, August 23rd, 2023. Okay? The last Jewish community, which was first exiled 2,000 years ago, is refused Aliyah. And we all know what Aliyah means, hopefully, on this channel. And who was the refuser? The state of Israel. Okay, and we have a picture of Ethiopian Jews. And I want to say something real quick while we're here. I want to show you guys something or just point this out. Okay, if I can scroll down the page for a sec. Look at this guy. You see this? You see how dark this gentleman is? This Ethiopian descendant of Judah? So when people want to say, "Oh no, they were this color, like this guy right here," or they were olive skinned, or maybe they were brown, but they were light brown. Take a look at this guy right here. Just saying. Just saying. All right, zoom back out. And let's move on. Okay. To judge a person, and we're not going to read the whole article. I'll link it. To judge a person, one must walk a mile in his shoes. But more importantly, in order to feel affection for him or her, one must feel their distress. Empathy. Imagine that you have brothers, sisters. Listen to this part, guys. We're gonna be some of these articles. I'm trying not to get ahead of myself, but listen to some of this because I'm going to point some things out and some keen differences that might shock you. Imagine that you have brothers, right, sisters, parents, or cousins who are stuck in a war zone, under life-threatening circumstances, as is the case of many Ethiopian Israelis today. I don't really like that term, Ethiopian Israelis, but we're not going to go into that right now. Thousands of these relatives have been living in transit camps in Gondar and Addis Ababa for many years. Okay, so this article is talking about Ethiopian Jews that are supposed to be being led into Israel, and fleeing war-torn areas from there in Africa, and they've been stuck in these in-between camps for a long time, years. Okay, years. Notice these things; these are important points. They are Asri Hatikva, prisoners of hope, who are making Aliyah bit by bit. Many of them, bit by bit. Again, these words, guys, I'm making a point. Many of them are Jews according to halacha, and others are descendants of Zerah Israel, the seed of Israel, meaning by patrilineal descent, who live as Jews. Interesting. You just see this, the seed of Israel, lost tribes, meaning more than just Judah. Keep that in mind. And this is a rabbi who's writing this article, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see. More than 1,000 out of the 4,226 applicants have already been found to be eligible for Aliyah. They meet the criteria set by the State of Israel for the right of Aliyah. Now their lives are in danger. Not only are they prisoners of hope, but they are hostages in a war that is not theirs. There are women who were left behind with their children when their husbands made their way to Israel and couldn't get, and then could, under the assumption, I want to add, under the assumption that they would be able to get their wives and kids and bring them over as well. It's not like these are a bunch of deadbeat dads, like I can already hear people going on about. No, they were a lot of them were under the assumption that they were going to go and prepare a place and then bring their families over. And then Israel was like, nope, go see my other video. Siblings or children who did not make the quotas for Aliyah, while parents and other family members were brought in on Aliyah. So listen to this, guys. So children, spouses, brothers, cousins, relations, blood relations. And some were eligible for Aliyah, but some weren't. All these relations and okay, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's continue. Imagine this happening to you. Imagine feeling that not only is your family torn in two, but those who have been left behind are in mortal danger. Yeah, in a war zone. The story of the Jewish remnants in Ethiopia is one that has been a part of the state of Israel for decades. It is a difficult and painful subject, but it is enough to visit the communities. Okay, my computer just refreshed for some reason. Sorry about that. But it is enough to visit the communities for just a few days to understand how great this injustice is. So, this person that's writing this article, I'm liking their style. All right, Israel refuses the last Jewish exiles. The last Jewish community, which was first exiled 2,000 years ago, is refused Aliyah. Hold on. Already read that. We could have been grateful to the state that has opened its gates to many thousands from this community, if not for the fact that within the gates is racism, separation of families, and contempt from ill-spoken official quote-unquote gatekeepers and politicians who are unwilling to educate themselves about the issue in a serious manner. So that right there is from the point of view of an Ethiopian. We're not going to read too much more of this article, then we've got to move on, because there's some things I'm going to start pointing out now. These days, the state of Israel is facing many challenges that are deepening the civil-social rift. I heard one of the leaders of the demonstrations against the judicial reform, because, there's police brutality over there against, wouldn't you believe it, black people, against the judicial reform, speak against Ethiopian Israelis for not joining the demonstrations on Kaplan Street in Tel Aviv. Okay, let's move down. Let's continue. I found this was interesting. A few years ago, in a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, we felt his empathy for Ethiopian Aliyah and his desire to solve the situation. We also heard his frustration at his government for not sharing the same sentiment. So he couldn't. There was just nothing he could do. There was just nothing Benjamin Netanyahu could do. Poor Benjamin Netanyahu. He wanted to help, but there's just he couldn't do anything. Poor Benjamin Netanyahu. Okay, so now I've kind of set things up for you, set the stage for you guys. Now, you see how the Ethiopian Jews are treated and have been treated. I could go into more detail. Please check out my previous video on the Ethiopian Jews. Now I want to show you guys something. Okay, this is an article from 2022, right? So early last year. What is it? March, January, February, March. Yeah, March 23rd, 2020. Oh my goodness, can't speak. 2022. Ukrainian Jews seek refuge in Israel. Ukrainian Jews. Those of us who are familiar with certain studies, and I will do a study on it, hopefully a presentation coming before too long, about certain lands such as Ukraine in ancient times and the peoples that inhabited them, okay? But not to get sidetracked. The Israeli government is preparing for a wave of refugees from Jewish communities in Ukraine as people flee war there. with 200,000 Ukrainian Jews eligible for immigration to Israel. Notice this, 200,000 Ukrainian Jews eligible for immigration to Israel. It seems to have already begun. A small 4-star hotel near the central bus station in West Jerusalem has become a temporary home to Ukrainians fleeing the war back home. For some, it is their first time in Israel. For others, such as Julia Rabenko and her teenage son Kirill, they're returning after past visits. Regardless, none imagined they would come to Israel under these circumstances with barely anything prepared for a longer stay. Israel is a good country. It's a country of our dreams, perhaps. But I want to come here in a normal way, not like this. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Let's go. Her husband had to stay behind in Ukraine due to the military draft. Okay. That's okay. I want to pick up down here, searching for what I'm looking for. Okay, here we go. Like others, Rebenko, her younger son, and their orange tabby cat made the dangerous journey by bus from their hometown city of Cherkasy, from about 200 kilometers south of Kyiv to the Romanian border. Okay? It was one bag for me, one bag for my son, and our cat. He is part of the family, she says. So the cat made it to Israel. The cat made it to Israel. I couldn't. Let's keep going. I'm getting to something here. Volunteers helped them in Romania, and members of the Jewish community set them up in a hotel for 5 days. Oh, how nice! How nice! How nice that these lovely white Jews were just no questions asked. They were taken in and put in a nice 4-star hotel, 1 star down from a 5-star hotel, and just looked after. Oh my goodness! Even the cat, guys. Let's continue. The plan was to stay in Romania, close to home, but the journey continued to Israel. Okay? For now, they appreciate the safety and support there. With no documents, neither for my cat nor for my son, but we are in Israel, she says. So these people, these Jews, were able to just come on over willy-nilly. They were able to come on over with no documentation. They even let the cat in. Guys, do you understand the oh my goodness. I have to calm down because I'm getting furious just reading this, and I've already seen it. The cat doesn't even have documentation. The cat is staying in a 4-star hotel, and these people, these actual humans are forced to stay in a refugee camp for years. But the cat, this overweight cat, and these Jews are up in a 4-star hotel. This is wicked. Okay, this is sick, and this is wrong. But don't worry, there's more. Right? No documentation. Hold on, I'm gonna bring something else up in just a minute. Let's see if there was anything else I wanted to go over here. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait. According to the agency, currently, and remember, this was back then. This is in 2022. Currently, 4,500 refugees have been set up in hotels in countries neighboring Ukraine and are awaiting flights to Israel, an official said. So, they, and not paid for by themselves. These people are not paying for the hotels. Okay? The people that are being put up in the hotels, these Ukrainian Jews, these white Jews. I seem to recall something about documentation, not even just with the Ethiopian Jews. I did a video not too long ago, about a couple weeks ago, on the Black Hebrew Israelites that are facing deportation. I'm just going to touch on that real quick. I'll put a card right here so you guys can go and watch that video too. Okay, and I'm just going to reference this. After decades of struggle in Israel, dozens of African Hebrew Israelites face deportation. Why do they face deportation? Here it is. But about 130 of them have no formal status and now face deportation. Some don't have foreign passports and say they have spent their entire adult lives in Israel and have nowhere to go. And if you guys go check out the previous video that I did on this, but long story short, these people were initially also granted citizenship. The Israeli government had okay, yeah, sure, you can stay, and then they took it back. They took it back. The same thing they did with Ethiopian Jews, basically. And we're like, well, now we're gonna kick you guys out because you have no papers. And yet these two and their fat cat and many others just like them, no papers. These two, no papers. But the Israeli government is like, oh, that's fine. That's no problem. You're good. You're good. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue here. This from AlJazeera.com. A real opportunity. Israel urges Ukrainian Jews to immigrate. Urging them. Come on, guys. Come on. We want you. We want you. Notice the difference in attitude and everything. Let's read it. Let us read it. About 100 Ukrainian Jews have arrived in Israel, and government officials say some 10,000. Remember, I told you guys those numbers that we were looking at earlier are important. Are expected in the coming weeks. And this is an article from, let's see if I can pull the date up for you guys, March 4th, 2022. So all around the same time these articles are. Israel is keen on bringing in Ukrainian Jewish refugees for the purpose of maintaining Jewish demographic supremacy over the Palestinian population, academics and analysts say. Since the outbreak of war with Russia on February 24th, the Israeli government has called on Ukrainian Jewish refugees to immigrate to Israel and removed bureaucratic hurdles to secure their arrival as quickly as possible. So not only did they say, come, but suddenly these things that, where was it? Remember here. Where was it? Oh, yes. That Benjamin Netanyahu, oh, he's feeling empathetic. Oh, if only we want to solve the situation. Oh, but the government doesn't share my sentiment. Oh, if only we could do something for you poor Ethiopian Jews. Suddenly, when it's Jews that look like this, right? Suddenly, the government could just like that remove bureaucratic hurdles. They could just remove these things, these little difficulties that would hinder these poor white Jews coming from their war-torn country, the war-torn country of Ukraine where they were. Oh, these poor Jews. We want to get you guys over here as fast as possible. Do me a favor, like this video, comment, subscribe, and tell me if any of your Christian friends, any of your pastors, all these people that talk about Israel this and God's chosen people that, talking about this, the present day modern day Israel. Oh, we need to support them this, we need to support that. Comment if you have heard any of this from any of those people. Do any of those people that talk to you about, oh, Israel, this, oh, Israel is just so great, we need to protect those people, we need to fund those people, those people are amazing. Do they even know about any of this? Do they even know? Let's continue. We call on the Jews of Ukraine to immigrate to Israel, your home, Israel's Ministry of Immigration and Absorption said in a statement on February 26th. So far, at this particular time this article was written, at least 100 Ukrainian Jews arrived on 2 flights, one from Kiev and another from Odessa. Some 300 others will arrive on 3 flights on Sunday. Government officials said some 10,000 are expected to arrive in the coming weeks. Get this now. On Sunday, the World Zionist Organization's Settlement Division, which is funded by the Israeli government and falls under its direct control, announced the building of 1,000 housing structures for Ukrainian Jewish families in both Israel and settlements in the illegally occupied Palestinian territories. Oh my, it's so amazing. It's so amazing that when you look a certain way, things happen like clockwork. I'm snapping my finger. Things just happen like clockwork. Suddenly there's no, this lengthy process. Oh, sorry, we got to leave you guys in camps in Ukraine until we figure it out. Oh, no, we have to leave you guys somewhere else until we figure it out. Oh, no, all of a sudden for Ukrainian Jews, for some white Jews, thousands of them, thousands and thousands. Suddenly, oh my goodness, let's build housing structures. Let's build some housing structures and put them in it. Just like that. And you best believe that old Fat Cat and his family were not the only ones of these people, these Ukrainian Jews, that did not have documentation, that had no paperwork. All right? You best believe that they were not the only ones that didn't have paperwork. And this from the country that once again, I went over this in my other video, but I'll refresh you guys' memory. Okay, Ethiopia. This is from POMEPS.org. Ethiopian Jews. The title of this article is Jewish Illegality, the case of Ethiopian Jews between 1955 and 1975. Ethiopian Jews were present in Israel since its establishment. However, the state did not consider them Jews, and therefore they were not eligible for Israeli citizenship, even though they were there. Even though they were there, and it was a known thing that they were Jews. Israel, the Israeli government just didn't want to recognize them. Ethiopian Jews who arrived in Israel between the early 1960s and 1975 under the entry law as tourists and migrant workers stayed to naturalize later, the law of return did not apply to them, and they remained illegal residents for a few years. This was the first time in the history of Israel that Jews were denied a citizen status, and thus their status forms a unique case of Jewish illegality. Why? Why? Because, of course, this is what they look like. That's what they look like. There is no other reason. Okay. I want to refresh some memories here. For Ethiopians in Israel, pay attention. Racism and discrimination have been the name of the game. This is an article from MiddleEastEye.net, written in 2016. Yeah, 2016. Okay. Obstacles to a reasonably gratifying existence have included curtailed educational and employment opportunities, with many children forced into what has in recent years often amounted to a segregated school system. A March 2016 article in Israel's Haaretz newspaper reported that among Israeli children finishing 12th grade in 2013 and taking exams, only 26% of students of Ethiopian origin achieved matriculation results. This took me a second. Enabling acceptance to university, compared with 52% of the general population. 52, it turns out, is a bit of a reoccurring number. Okay. Meanwhile, practices aimed at the societal exclusion of dark-skinned Jews, black Jews, have reportedly ranged from decisions by certain landlords not to rent properties to Ethiopian Israeli families to a recurring denial of marriage licenses to Ethiopian Israelis in the central Israeli city of Petah Tikva. And again, you guys check my other video for the things that they have done and are doing to this day to the Ethiopian Jews that are over there right now. But I thought this was so interesting. Because people will say it doesn't exist. People will say it's you guys are making it up. It's not real. It's because blacks are criminals. It's because there are no black Jews. Yada yada yada. So they couldn't even deny these black Jews. They couldn't deny that wrong picture. They couldn't deny that these Jews, the Ethiopian Jews, were in fact Jews. They tried everything. They tried. They tried. Couldn't do it. So when these people come seeking help from war for years back, Israel's got them in camps. Israel won't let them in. Israel separates their families. Guys, I'm gonna keep going back to this. This government separates children, cousins, spouses, right? Because we can't. I know that you and you are brothers, or I know that you're the son, you're the parent, okay? I know that you guys share the same blood, but for some reason, you're eligible to come in, but your blood brother is not eligible. You're eligible to come in, okay, but your wife is not eligible. It's like Pharaoh saying, okay, go, I'll let you guys go. Go ye that are men and worship your God, but the rest of you stay here. Okay, the parents, sisters, cousins, you people that are relations by matrimony or blood. Well, I mean, you might be eligible, but you're not. Okay, you're eligible, but your kids aren't. Come right in. Come right in, little white Jews and your fat cat. Come in. The cat's eligible. Don't worry. The cat doesn't need documentation. Come on in. Here's a 4-star hotel. Excuse me, here's a 4-star hotel. Would your cat like some shrimp puffs? Oh, no, I know. We won't eat them. We don't eat shrimp, but for you guys, if that's what you want, we won't say anything. The cat wants some shrimp puffs. Guys, we got to start confronting these things. Get this video out there, please. Please share this video. Please share this video with your Christian friends who go on and on about how great Israel is, and oh, God's chosen people this, and oh, God's chosen people that, and oh, they just want to exist, but those people over there won't let them exist. All they want to do is exist and be at peace. They don't hurt anyone. They're not discriminatory to anyone. Please show them this video and the original one I did on Ethiopian Jews. But if you have to show them one, show them this video. The hypocrisy and the wickedness, the hatred is palpable, tangible, and it continues to this day. That first article we looked at, that I believe a rabbi wrote, was written just last month. These issues are going on. The discrimination and the hatred toward black Jews, black Judah, is going on to this day, and is so rampant, and yet we don't hear about it. We don't hear about it on the supposedly liberal news stations. We don't hear about it on the supposedly conservative news stations. And none of these supposedly independent podcasters, reporters, blah, 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 with big names are talking about it. No one's talking about it. Excuse me. It's up to us to talk about it and spread awareness. Please share this video. Or if you don't want to share, if you don't want, if it's too much, you think it might be too much for your friend, at least comment. Like, boost it up in the algorithm. Our time is coming, though. The time when the descendants of Judah and the rest of the 12 tribes, the Lord will soon end our captivity, and all those who hated us will have to look on us and know that we are favored. But it takes us turning back the curse. It takes us turning back the curse and doing what's right, guys. But I just wanted to bring this video up and just show what's going on, because it's ugly. This has been the Israelite in America. Please like the video, comment, share, subscribe. I know I keep saying that, but it really does help. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.